Hello friends, my name is Omokorede Fashoro. I'd like to welcome you once again to my YouTube channel, Anchor for Living. First, I'd like to apologize for the long silence since the last posting. I assure you that going forward, my postings will be more regular. Today, I'd like to speak with you on a topic I consider very important. It's actually a question that I believe every person on earth should be able to answer. And it's a three-worded question that simply says or asks, who are you? Who are you? What is the essence of your life? What is your life about? What is your purpose? What is your assignment? Why are you here? The truth is, it is not until a person is able to answer this question that life will actually have meaning. Many people are living frustrated lives, discouraged lives, unfulfilled lives, simply because they do not know the essence of their being. The Bible tells us in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, before God said to a young man called Jeremiah, he said, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you and I ordained you a prophet unto the nations. And I believe that this same passage of scripture applies to every one of us. So in essence, in that passage, what God is simply saying is that even before our parents came together to conceive us, every one of us existed as an idea in the mind of God. Before He actually placed us in our mother's womb for us to be born 9 months after. I want to assure you, dear friend, no matter the circumstances of your birth, whether or not your parents tell you you were planned or unplanned, it does not change the fact that you were an idea in the mind of God. I'd like to share 5 quick tips that I believe would help us in answering that question. Who are you? The first tip is you need to look above. To discover purpose, you need God, because God is the originator of life. God is the beginning of every life. So you need to look above in a place of prayer and ask Him, Lord, why did you create me? What is the reason for my existence on earth? The second thing I'd like to say, you need to look within. Inside every one of us, God has packaged unique resources that would help us in the fulfillment of destiny or purpose, as the case may be. Everyone has unique sets of talents, of gifts, of natural abilities. And so you need to ask yourself, what do I love doing? What can I do? What can I do so well? Or what have people told me I do very well? What can I do effortlessly that I did not learn anywhere? For some, it's the ability to write, to speak, to train, to cook, whatever it is. Everybody has talent. You need to look within and discover what you have on the inside. The third thing I like to tell us, you need to look behind. Take a look, sit down and take a look and ask yourself, where have I been? What challenges have I faced in life? What pains or struggles have I experienced in life? Because many times God will allow us to go through challenges because He has ordained us to solve such problems. I'll give a very good example. In the Bible, we read about the life of a man called Moses. At a time in life, he was being brought up as a prince in Egypt, but all the while he had a burden for the people of Israel, because he must have identified that God had an assignment for him in the liberation of the people of Israel. And so he went on a particular day, saw an Egyptian abusing a Jew, and he ended up killing the man, and he fled for his life. He went into exile, went into the wilderness, and for 40 years of his life, it was as if he didn't exist. For 40 years after, God met with him. And the interesting thing is that it was the same wilderness that Moses had passed through 40 years before that God now led him back to take the children of Israel through. So you can look back at your life. What have you experienced in life? What are your pains? Or what have been your pains, your struggles? Maybe you grew up in an abusive family. Maybe, you've had some challenge. You had challenges, even while growing up, health challenges, or maybe even in the area of your academics, or whatever it is. Sit down and collate all these experiences. Everything always works out for our good. The fourth point, look around. Inside every one of us, like I said before, God has positioned resources, and also everyone has a passion for something, or some things, as the case may be. When you look around you, what catches your attention? When you look around you, what do you notice? What burdens your heart? Whose pains matters to you? For some, it could be abused children. And then putting it together with what I said earlier on, maybe because you grew up as an abusive family, God might give you a passion for abused children. For some, it could be widows. I know a lady that was widowed at a very young age, and from the time she lost her husband, God gave her an assignment for widows, and she's doing a great work empowering widows. So you need to do that. Look around you. Pay attention to what burdens your heart. The last thing I'd like to talk about is for you to look ahead. When you've looked above to God, you've looked within to what you have inside you, you've looked behind to where you're coming from, you've looked around you to what catches your attention, what you're passionate about, you also now need to look ahead. What pictures do you have of the future? Where do you see yourself 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Are there dreams you had while growing up? Ideas of where you would want to be at certain times of your life. You also need to pay attention to those things. As I round up this session, I want to encourage you once again. For what I said earlier on, no one is an accident. No one is a mistake. No one is an afterthought. Before your parents came together, you existed as an idea in the mind of God. And because of the problem God has ordained that you will solve on earth, God now went to the drawing board, put together the wonder called you. You are a wonder waiting to unfold. I encourage you, dear friend, take these words, run with these words, and unleash the wonder called you. God bless you. I look forward to being with you once again. I'd like to encourage you, please like my channel. Feel free to share with your friends. I'd also like to have your comments and your feedback. And let's do this again. God bless you. Bye-bye.